a classic man. You can be me when you look this clean. I'm a classic man.
Those who might just be learning about you for the first time, like, could you just introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, no, I mean, my name is Jidenna. In America, I say Jidenna just because of the rhythm of the language. Not because I'm not. I know how to say my name, but the rhythm is important. I like to keep in rhythm with the place. Like, so Jidenna is my real name and also my artist name. And I'm a recording artist. I work with Wonderland Records, Janelle Monáe, and I also work with Epic Records and Sony.
Wow, epic stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So you was born in Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
but you grew up partially in Nigeria. So I just wanted to ask, like, what were the memories that you had of those early stages of your life, and how did it shape who you are today?
My father would tell the story like this. He's like, Jidenna was conceived in Nigeria. I conceived him anyway. And we brought him to his mother's place because I wanted him to have a blue passport. If he didn't have the blue passport, they would think, hey, this is a Nigerian man. But he's both. He's not just half caste, he's two. He's multiplied by two. If anything, he's squared. Not half caste, caste squared. That's how my father would tell me. So I was born in Wisconsin. I was conceived in Nigeria. And then I went back to Enugu, Nigeria. It was beautiful, man. Like, my entire perception, like, first 6-7 years of my life in Enugu, in Lagos when we were going to travel, in Abuja when we were going to travel, in Jos when we travel. So I always felt like an African in America, you know. But at the same time, because of my mixed heritage, I felt like a human being because early on I was never quite accepted by anywhere. I'm either too black or too white. I'm either too African or too American. I look like an Indian or Arab or Latino. So everywhere I went, it was like I related to people but was also kind of an outcast. So it's funny now that people will, like, look up to me. And bro, I was the guy at the edge of the city that you ain't want to be. I was the guy when I said EFGHIJ, and I said that H, everybody laughed at me and called me, in fact, this guy Philip, mushroom bowl cut, called me an African nigga my first day in school in the U.S. That was my welcome. That was my first day after Enugu. So that was all that I think shaped me. It allowed me to relate to a lot of people, but it also shaped me into a person who's a fighter for human beings across the earth, and especially people of African descent all over the world.
So you said that there was a slight difference, would you say, between how you was treated in Africa to how you got treated when you was in America? Like, did you feel, let's say, more excluded when you came to America, or?
Depends on what you talk about. What you mean by exclusion? You know, when I was in Nigeria as a kid, it was like I was already famous. Because here is this little kid with his white mother. And the people say, oh, yeah, cha, Oyibo, Oyibo, please. And they would come and try to sell me shit when I go to the market. And my mom was just trying to buy some, like, tomatoes and, like, yams. So it was funny, you know, people swarm, think we had money, which we're okay. We're middle class in Nigeria. But already we stood out. But man, even standing out though, it's like jokes, man. In Nigeria, it's like our bark is bigger than our bite, man. It's all hospitable. We're some of the most hospitable people in the world, man, honestly. And we're funny, we're full of life, full of passion. And so I never really felt excluded. It was just more like, all right, you look a little different in Enugu, like not everybody look like you, but all good, all love. And that's kind of been how it's been for me with all black people. Now when I went to the US, a little different. Like, a little different being called a nigger your first day of school. Like, I didn't even know what that shit was. I had to ask my white mother what a nigger was, because I had never been called that. In fact, the only white people I'd ever seen in my life were mannequins. I didn't know what a white person was. Like, my mom wasn't white to me, she's my mother. So when I went to the U.S., it's like, what is this, man? Like, these people are ghosts, and I don't get it. I don't get it at all. And then after you try to fit into that, it's like the black people of the U.S. are like, man, nah, you can't be African and you can't be white, nigga. You need to play basketball, my nigga. Like, that's how you need to get down with us, man. Stop wearing that shit. The fuck is that dashiki, man? Like, come over here and wear this shit. So, for me, it's like, I had, as a young kid, I was meandering through that world. I will say that in the U.S., the race thing was, like, way beyond anything that I experienced in Nigeria. Nigeria is a lot of love and just like hospitality, and the race thing was such a divisive thing in the U.S. as it is, I think, in other countries like South Africa, for example. But I learned, man. I learned the ways, and I learned the code of the streets, and I learned how to code switch.
While you were attending high school, apparently you joined like a group. And then that was like your early origins into like producing and writing music.
Yeah, I co-founded it.
Okay, cool. So do you want to tell us a bit about the group and like what inspired you to get into music? Yeah.
Well, let me go to the inspiration of music. I was a video game player, man. I used to play FIFA. I played like NBA Live. I played all these games. I played I can't remember all those games back in the day. But I think what happened was this. My mom, I don't know if I asked for it or she just gave it to me, but she gave me this music production software. It was called Mixman. And then she gave me this next software called Fruity Loops.
Yeah.
And it looked like a video game to me. So I was like, oh, okay, this shit's fun. But by the end of 4 hours, I'm actually getting some product, something more productive than Arsenal beating Manchester United. You know what I'm saying? It was a little bit more productive than a hat trick. So that's when I got into music. I was like, this is fun. I was 10 years old at the time. So after that, man, it was pretty much a wrap. I was the worst rapper in my neighborhood. Nobody give me beats. I was like, yo, just give me a beat, man. I promise, man. I'll rap my ass off. Nope. Nobody gave me beats, so I made my own. That's kind of how it's been. The music industry, as you kind of work through, some people get you, some people don't. When they don't get you, you have to make your own lane, and I made my own lane for myself. That was the beginning of it. Black Spades, the group I co-founded, I produced 20 records, 30 days. I was 17. That was the beginning of it. 30 days, man. We lived, slept, breathed. I didn't even have a mic stand. Didn't have no money at all, man. You know my mic stand? I put some tennis shoes. You guys call them tennis shoes or sneakers out here?
Trainers.
Hey, what is this? Trainers. Okay, trainers. Okay, I'm about to put that in the fucking song. I like that shit. Trainers. Ooh, that shit clean. I like that. So I took my trainers, right? I hung. This is how it is. If you're short, then I would tie it to the top of the closet. Is that what you guys call it? Closet?
Wardrobe.
Okay. I tie it to the top. My trainers to the top of the wardrobe, right? So it's hanging from there, and there's a sneaker, and I put the mic in there. Sorry, a trainer, and I put the microphone in there. Now, if you're taller, then I tie it a little tighter, and it goes up like this. And if you're shorter, then I would loosen it, and I would charge people to record in my mom's house in my wardrobe. That's how it was, man. And that was the beginning of my music career.
So is that like the group kind of, were they people who you started working with?
Yeah, I went to school with all of them, but the people, I used to hustle, man. I sold things on the street. I sold chains. I sold other things that were legal and illegal. I was a hustler all the way, man. I'm Nigerian, man. I'm an entrepreneur. Exactly. I just hadn't figured that word out.
No, it goes.
Yeah, man. You sell what you can do, man. So people would come over the house, and that was the beginning of it.
Oh, wow. Okay. So apparently, you turned down a record deal to attend university.
Yeah.
So, as in like as an entrepreneur, it must have been like there must have been quite some serious motivation behind you turning down, the prospect of going forward with your music.
The artists you know today, you already know there's gonna be some shit. As soon as I start like that, man. The artists you know today, man, you'll barely remember them in like 10, 20 years. A lot of them. Some are great. Some are my contemporaries, and I respect them. But me, give me 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 years. I guarantee my name will be in the history book. I guarantee. I put my life on it. That's the difference. That's why I turned down a record deal. I was 18, almost 10 years ago. Why would I take that? For what? I'm not. I know what I can read a contract, man. I can read.
Wow.
I can read niggas well, a nigga well read. That's it, man. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I had the benefit of looking at Jay-Z and Tupac. I had that benefit. How am I not going to see further than them? How are you going to be an artist and come in the game not knowing you're going to be in debt as soon as you come in with your advance? I ain't going to take no $2 million. I ain't no fucking buffoon. I know what it is. I know what I'm getting. I'm not doing that, man. My father didn't raise me to be like that, man. My mom didn't raise me like that. I was blessed to have that. I'm not saying some people didn't grow up with parents. Some people grew up with single parent homes. I did partially. My mom and I, when we came to the States, just me and my mom. But I'm not gonna go into a deal. Didn't motherfuckers rap about record deals. They rap about cocaine. I know how to make crack if I want to. I know how a record deal works. I'm not gonna accept a record deal like some hoop dream, man. I read the shit. I'm like, nah. I went to university instead.
So then you started off studying sound engineering, and then you changed to ritualistic arts.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm a juju man.
I was about to ask, like, what's that about?
Obia. I am.
Obia.
Hey, I studied them.
You studied the Obia.
No, yeah, I joke about these things, man. And I wear a suit. I gotta wear a suit, man. If I wore what I really am, man. Because an OG in South Central LA told me this, man. He saw me slanging. He saw me slanging in the streets. He said, look, it's okay. You do what you do. I'm not going to judge your hustle. But when you're in these streets, young man, never dress like what you do. Never dress like what you do. So, I'm this guy. But underneath it all, I'm a shaman. I'm a medicine man. Don't tell anybody, please. I beg. Please. Don't tell people. Or make it a joke. Jokes get us where we are. Comedians can say more things than anybody else. So, yeah, no, just ritual art. Nah, just studying how to put people in trances and psychology and sociology and music theory and religious studies. And yeah, I made all that. I made my own curriculum and I brought it to the professors. I said, eat this because I'm going to eat it. And they ate it and I graduated with that. But I wanted to understand the art of brainwashing.
Wow.
That was it. How do you do that? You know, not just engineering was great. I was good at electrical engineering. Actually, I was okay. My family is better than me, but I had to change the major because it's more honest to who I am.
A bit about one of your mentors or your professors,
Philip Zimbardo.
Yeah, and apparently you kind of, well, of course you would have learned a lot from him. You know, with the music and the fashion as well. So like, what was that like? Cause
did you go to uni? Where was this? Why are you so well read? Where you go to school?
I just graduated.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, a little researcher, man. I like it, man.
I've got more, don't worry. And he was the one that actually, he was the one that did the Stanford Prison Experiment.
Yes.
So like, that's quite somebody to be in the presence.
Yeah,
of,
man.
You know what I mean? So,
changed my life, man. There's a few, like, there was this guy, Mark Hilgendorf, I hope he's listening. White hippie, taught me African American history in high school. Boom, changed my life. Boom. Now, Philip Zimbardo, flash forward to Stanford. This guy studied psychology of evil, psychology of sex, like things that everyone goes through. What is evil, right? One thing that he made us do is psychology of the uniform. 1 week, and this is part of why I dress this way, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of these things. He made us dress like somebody else. So I wore like Abercrombie and Fitch one day, you know what I'm saying? And this is a guy who used to wear like Black Panthers on my t-shirt. I had like red, black, and green wristband. I had my fucking afro out to here. That's how I used to dress. I had Timberlands and shit. So he made us dress like somebody else. So I was Abercrombie and Fitch one day. The next day I would dress in like a tunic, like I look like a Muslim, even though I was raised Christian. Then the next day, like really tight clothing, really tight. Like just you question like what is this guy into, man? Then the next day I would dress in a suit, and by going through that week, everybody treated me differently. Wow. In fact, the women that used to like me, they ain't like me anymore. Just depending on what I dress, or new women liked me, and they were like, yeah, like he's hot, just by what I wore, right? That's just uniform. That's why when I look at police officers, and in the States, I've been pushing to redesign our uniforms because they're based on Civil War uniforms. War uniforms. How are you not going to go to war against your own people if you're in a uniform of war? So Philip Zimbardo taught me these things. He taught me about evil, how evil is circumstantial. If here, say the world didn't live on water but lived on tea, right? Right now, I'm the guy with the tea. If I have the tea now, and I grew up wealthy with all the tea in the world, and I don't share my tea because I'm an only child. I'm an only child, and I don't share my milk. I don't share. Am I evil, or am I just ignorant? I don't know what it means to share. Am I really greedy, or is it I just have never been in that world? I don't have a sibling. This is what he taught me about evil. That guy changed my life, man. That's why I'm so big on education, because my father was an educator, Philip Zimbardo, Mark Hillendorf, my mom, Tama Mobison. These people shaped my life, man. Everybody you meet, and they don't gotta have a diploma, they don't gotta be in school. Could be the OG on the street that told me never dress like what you do in South Central. He was an OG from Grape Street Gang. Grape Street Gang took me in, man. They took me in, and I didn't have no place to stay. I was eating corn dogs. I didn't have no money. But they took me in because I was a producer, and I produced for the hood. But these people taught me what I am. That's why I know the code of the streets, and I know how to code switch and talk like this, and talk about amazing and magnanimous occasions that we have, right? This is what it is, man. Yeah, no, I want to get full, well-rounded, bro.
Yeah.
And for all the kids and the parents, too. Just before you think, like, Classic Man said motherfucker 8 times in the song, nigga. What you think this is? You think I just go to... When I went to Stanford University, I lived in what was formerly the murder capital of the U.S. called East Palo Alto, California. I'm not coming up in this bitch like, oh, this nigga's all fancy, foo-foo, shishi, like shishi, foo-foo. Nah, bro. Like, that's the whole point. I wear this shit so I can say those fucking words, man. I wear it so I can go to anywhere, man. I'm in the White House, and then I'm in the strip club with Young Thug. Yeah, I've been smoking weed since I was 15, bro. I got to all the Ivy League schools I applied to. I got into every fucking school. And them white boys in my school put nigger on the bathroom stall. That's my life, man. So nah, man. Of course, let's smoke weed, let's drink, let's enjoy, but let's party with a purpose. Let's party and ponder.
I would say you're quite a conscious person. You definitely have an understanding of your true self and your true purpose on this earth. And that's that's something that a lot of people are starting to go through. But a lot of people have difficulties finding the balance between, putting, how can I say this? Putting the stuff that they have in theory in their head into action. It's like the reality always kind of blocks the...
Reality?
Reality, the false reality kind of always blocks off their consciousness.
Sorry, I know you've been with me all day. So it's like, what's this nigga gonna say, man? Alright. What, reality? Alright, let me tell you about reality, man. Are we recording?
Yeah? Recording.
We're gonna post this thing. Reality, man. There's no such thing as absolute reality, man. Let's just start there. It's only relative reality. In fact, perception is reality. Yeah. Perception is more real than what people call absolute reality. And that's the theory of it. What that means in like every day, every woman, every man terms is this. That if I believe that I'm weaker, then I will be weak. If I believe my people are dumber, then we will be dumb. That's what reality is. So what happens is, if you believe that, then your country's going to be shit. And you'll be shitted on by people that believe in themselves more than you. The reality, there's no such thing, man, in terms of like the obstacles. The obstacles. There's a quote that I'll leave you with. 2 quotes, actually, if you don't mind. One is this. I forgot where this is from. Just say it's from me. And then you'll get in trouble because you didn't cite your sources. But here's what it is. It says that we are kept from our obstacles. We are kept from our objectives and our goals. Not by our obstacles, but by a clearer path to a lesser goal. I'll say it again. We are kept from our goals and our objectives, not by the actual obstacles, but by a clearer path to a lesser goal. That's why I couldn't just go and follow what my parents wanted and said, hey, you know, you should be an engineer. That was a clearer path. It's easy. It's a paved way. You get a degree. You go get a job. You go work for NASA. You go work for Apple. Easy. Engineer. Boom. Done. Change Nigeria. Go back. Boom. Mm-mm. I went the unpaved path. There's no path. And artists and creatives, like, it's a difficult road for us, man. Especially when your parents are nagging on you, like, what are you doing? Like, please. Can you imagine? They're just like, my daughter is this. Can you imagine? But now we're doing it. Especially West Indians and West Africans, black people in the city, we're doing it. But that's one quote. The second quote is this. This, I believe, is from the Bhagavad Gita. If it's not, quote them anyway. It's a great book. It says that, or it might be an imam who wrote this book. I forgot about like Islam and the purification of the human soul or something like that. But this is the quote. The quote I know. The quote says this. It is better to do one's purpose imperfectly than to do somebody else's purpose perfectly. Both of these quotes are married to each other. When we're maneuvering through the world, we have to find our purpose, our greater purpose. We have to find and believe in that and have courage to do so. That's really what I'm about, and that's what I hope I inspire in people.
Thank you, man.
I'm just talking shit, man. Stop looking at me like that. I ain't saying shit, man. This is year 2 for me, bro. Cosman came out last year. You know how much fucking shit I gotta talk? You know how many people I gotta meet? You know how many governors? You know how many mayors? You know how many brothel owners? You know how many dancers, artists, scientists, engineers, lawyers, doctors, teachers? I got so many people to meet. And I'm just one person. But we have to believe, man. Everybody got to believe, man. We can't live in this world anymore. I'm tired of, like, mediocrity, man. What I love about what you guys did is it's innovative. So many people just do magazine. This is the world's first video magazine. GUAP. And I like the name. Why? Because GUAP means money, where I'm from.
Same there.
Perfect. You know why? Because if I'm a young hustler like I was, I'm going to see GUAP, and I'm going to see a motherfucker in a hoodie like I was, and I still do when I'm working out, though, usually. When I see that, I'm like, that's me. That's me. J Hus, that's me. Inspire, entertain, that's me. Free? That's definitely me. And the friendly edition, cool. So now, do I have a phone? Yes, I do. Like, actually, most people on the earth now, which is cool. So I go in, boom, put my phone over it, boom, I got my video magazine. That's innovative, man. That's what we stand for. We are the world's innovators. And we have to tell the story, and we have to document the story. That's what GUAP means to me. I ain't even read it.
But that's exactly
That's the essence of it, man. I ain't even read it, but I already know what it is. Remember, you started putting, as soon as you put your phone to it, I was like, yeah, I already know what it is. That's what my father stood for, man. The first African, commercially produced African PC. First computer institute in Nigerian history, ever. Azutec, first one ever. Azutec series, 8,000. Look it up. You won't even find it. You'll find it somewhere. But I have it. I have all of it. I have all the documents. And they're in a vault. And no one can get them. That's what I'm here for, man. I tell our history. That's why I look like a ghost. And that's why I look like a free slave from 1865. No fucking process hair, nigga. Don't process your hair. Motherfuckers on Instagram, don't fucking do that, bro. Wear your dreads. Wear your afro. I don't want you to look like me. If you do, cool. Then do it, like, have a reason for it. But I don't do it because I think that shit pretty. I barely look in the fucking mirror. I give a fuck about what color my suit is, man. I don't care about this shit. Honestly. I'm just a magician. That's all. And this is my magic trick.
So what would you say you want your role to be in this current stage of history?
Oof. This is hard because I was just chilling with Hugh Masekela. I don't know if you know, he's a South African musician and really just like extraordinary man, activist in his own right. But he told me one reason that we South Africans won and lost the country is the same reason, because he said we telegraphed our movement because we sang so loud, and when we sang, it was our passion.
When we sang, it was our power. When we sang, we won our freedom and became independent in South Africa. Yet, every time we sang, they knew where we were. So you asked me what I want my legacy to be. Do you want me to die early? I don't think so. I don't think so. I know my value, man. I know what I am. I can tell you, but I don't really think I'll be here too much longer if I tell you exactly what it is, man, with my legacy. I'll say this. Ooh, thank God I didn't say the truth. I'll give you part of the truth. Part of the truth is this, and actually it's the whole truth. I want my legacy to be this. I don't want you to compare me to Rosa Parks or anybody. That's fair, you compare them to, or compare those two. But I want you to just say Jidenna, man. Who you compare Muhammad Ali to? Nobody. Who you compare Malcolm X to? Who do you compare these people to? But nobody like them. But you know what they fought for. That's it. If I go down in history, I did this. I made my own genre, like Fela did, and made Afrobeat. And nobody was like him, or nobody was like Bob Marley. But they're all kind of along this path in this string of people. I want to be part of those. I pray to the ancestors every day. I put juju on my music. I did. That's why it's winning. You think I didn't pray on Classic Man 1,000 times? Hey, these people, man. My contemporaries, pray on your music. Pray on it. Put something on it. Put some dust on it. Magic fairy dust. Get Tinkerbell, holler at the motherfucker, and tell her to dance on your shit, because I did. But we live in a Peter Pandemonium generation. We're afraid to grow up, and we're living in mayhem. But me, you'll know me as Jidenna DK Theodore Mobison. That's it.